British children themselves consider in this world today more worthless than any other compared to other countries in the world today. They themselves consider, because they're not loved enough. They don't find happiness in their own homes. So they're more likely to feel lonely, awkward, unsociable, unaccepted, unwelcomed. They're more likely to feel anxiety about themselves and thus grow emotionally unbalanced. Rasulullah said, in fact, the story of the time of Rasulullah is narrated. Allah's Prophet ﷺ once kissed his grandson Hassan while a man named Al-Aqra ibn Habis al-Tamimi was sitting beside him. The man said, "O Prophet of Allah, I have 10 children. I have never kissed them." Prophet ﷺ looked at the man sadly and he said, "Whoever does not show mercy will not be shown mercy. If you can't show mercy, Allah Azza wa Jalla will not show you any mercy." Children need a loving home. Children need a merciful parent. Children need a society that will protect them and look after them. Unlike the 3 teachers or 2 teachers and 1 accomplice who have been jailed recently for taking indecent photographs of children in sexually explicit manner. Such has become the norm in this society. Children are not allowed to roam free on the street because of the fear of pedophilia that has become so embedded in the psyche of parents today. This is not a healthy environment to bring up children. What are you going to do about it? It's one thing condemning it. It's something very different doing something about it. They need family and friendship to be able to grow up properly. Rasulullah said, if any one of you care for 3 daughters, give them good upbringing, marries them, and treats them well, he will enter paradise. SubhanAllah. Rasulullah said this at a time when daughters were considered not worthy of even having, they would bury their daughters alive. When a man said, "Ya Rasulullah, I don't have 3, I have 2. He said, "You too." When another man said, "Ya Rasulullah, I have not 2, I've got 1. He said, "You too." Take care of them, for He Azza wa Jal will open up doors of paradise for you. If you take care of them, not just daughters, also sons. For our children are our amana. He Azza wa Jal has given you and I a gift of love. Gift of love. A sign of divine abilities and a sign of divine delegation through which we procreate. Our children are divine creation, but we procreate. We have been given and trusted the right to do so, and we see wonderful creation of Allah coming out from our own houses, from our own homes. They need family and friendship to survive, to work, to sustain in their lives to come. Prophet ﷺ said, whoever has a daughter, tutors her, good manners, educates her well, feeds her properly, she will be a protection for him from the fire of hell. Are you sure you know where your daughters are? Are you sure where your sons are? I received an email yesterday from a sister who wrote to me with great shame and embarrassment, "Brother, I would like to ask your advice. A friend of mine," she wrote, "has been having outside marriage, not married relationship with a boy. She is only 15 and she's pregnant. What shall I do? What shall we do?" Muslim sister, Muslim girl. Largest number of pregnancies reported last year amongst the teenage kids within the ethnic minority communities. Guess where they live? I'm embarrassed to say, but they live in Tower Hamlets. And Tower Hamlets has the largest number of Muslim population in the country. The largest number of teenage pregnancies amongst the ethnic minority communities were reported in Tower Hamlets. There are sisters, there are brothers, there are boys and our brothers. Education is essential for their upbringing and their upkeep. Prophet ﷺ said, there is no better gift a parent can give to his child than good manners. There is no better gift that you can give to your child than good manners. Education isn't to teach them only to read and write, though that is essential. Education is also to teach them morality, principles by which they can lead the good life tomorrow, yardsticks by which they can distinguish between right and wrong, measures which could enable them to choose the right friend from the wrong ones. Bringing up children requires that kind of steadfast focus and prepared to be sacrificing our time and all that we have in helping our children. In Britain today, children are leaving schools, especially Muslim kids are leaving schools after having been through a school system from the day they started school at a very early age until they finish at 16. 2/3 Muslim kids leave schools without the ability to read and write properly even today in Britain. Muslim kids, compared to the non-Muslims. Why? Your brothers and sisters, I can go on and complain. Our children, the children of this society, are destroying themselves. Is that right? Don't blame them. We haven't provided them the right environment. We haven't provided them the love and the affection that they deserve. If we did, they would not destroy themselves. No child would ever destroy his or her future. No child would. You and I have a duty, moral and a religious duty. Stop condemning this society. You are part of it. Stop pointing fingers at the non-Muslims. You are part of this society. You have a duty to protect all children, yours and the ones outside. You and I have a duty to propose to this society, to this country, an alternative vision to bring up children. Safer, morally sound, loving, principled, more driven, more ambitious plan for the children of this country and of the world. You have a duty, and we have a duty as Muslims who believe to have guidance of Allah and the principal teachings of our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If we don't, all these children will rise on the Day of Judgment, holding you and I responsible for failing them. We will be responsible for failing them, for we need to provide an alternative to the parents, and these parents need to be trained and educated so that they can provide a loving and caring environment. Did you see the news yesterday? When a man strangled 2 of his loving children to death. 2 of his loving children were strangled to death. I saw the pictures, I was in tears rolling out of my eyes. Innocent, beautiful children. Which animal could kill his own child? Even animals don't do that. Allah Azza wa Jalla says, when human being would reduce to that level, they will become worse than animal. Bal hum adall. They are worse than animal. Children need you and I to go out there and champion their causes, champion the environment so that they can feel safe and secure to bring up their own lives and be better and be able to contribute to the well-being of their own development and to the society at large. Question is, what are you doing about it? أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله الرحيم. الحمد لله كفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى. أما بعد. Dear brothers and sisters, you know I have children. I've got one of mine here today. Every time I look at her, I think about her future, not mine. Mine is done. What future am I providing her? If I take her from my home to the school, do I trust the education system sufficiently to leave my child in the custody of people who I don't think understand the moral principle by which I would like my children to be taught and their lives to be governed?